everybody, it's Michelle, and I have got a super fun bead charm for you guys today. If you remember, I told you a while back a new subscriber by the name of Ashley had messaged me, and we talked back and forth a little while, and she ended up giving me a suggestion, and I wanted it to be a surprise because it is so fun. So her suggestion was a s'more, because she had seen some of my camping lantern and sort of outdoor things like that. And you guys know that I love s'mores and campfires and anything along those lines, so I just had to find a way to do this. So I searched and searched. What I came up with for the graham cracker part of the s'more was Scrabble Tiles. And I just ordered a package of replacement tiles from Walmart.com, I believe it was. And these are a little more sort of like unfinished than the ones that actually come in the Scrabble game. And I liked that because they're sort of a matte look. They don't have that glossy finish, and I thought that was more of a graham cracker look. And if you don't want to order these online, you could use some from an old Scrabble game that may have some pieces missing already, or you could find maybe at a thrift store or something like that, and that would be really great. And I didn't bother to take the letters off because I'm just going to sandwich those in toward the inside and they won't show. And I drilled a hole in those with my Dremel tool again, and I used the 3/64 inch bit to do that with. So then I had my graham crackers, and for the marshmallow I thought this bead was really great. It's sort of a disc bead, and that's going to give us that smushed marshmallow kind of look, as if it's already been melted and smushed in between. And that's really what I was looking for. And these were just the perfect bead for that. And the measurement on those was about, looks like about 20 millimeters wide. And it's about 5.5 to 6 millimeters thick. And if you can see, that kind of slants. It's not exactly perfectly level, which I thought was even better because that's going to give us that more of a smushed marshmallow kind of wonky look, and I really like that. Let's see, the measurement on the Scrabble tiles is 20 millimeters also. And for the chocolate in my graham cracker, I had first ordered buttons. I found this set online that was pink, cream, and browns, and it had the square buttons in there, but you know, the color choices in there are very random, and when these arrived there was not one single brown square in there, and that was the perfect size. I thought those square buttons were. That would have made a good chocolate piece. But I didn't get any in the brown, and I didn't want to reorder and take that chance again and the extra time as well. And besides that, the brown was sort of a pinkish brown anyway, and I wasn't even happy with it. So I had to find a new idea for the chocolate. So I thought back about my hamburger bead charm that I did, and I used the yellow fun foam as the cheese on the burger. So if you guys remember that, this was the pack that I used, and there wasn't any brown in there at all in that 32 pack in the 4x6 inch. So I went back to Walmart to see if I could find any brown, and I did. I had to get the bigger pack. It was the 50 sheets in the 5.5 by 8.5 size. And that had the brown in there, so I thought that was perfect, and I just went ahead and got that, and I cut it out. And what I did there was I just put my tile on there, and I kind of scooted it just a little bit inward, so it would be a little bit larger, just barely larger than my tile. And I just took my scissors and cut right to the edge of that to get my chocolate piece. So then it looked like everything was complete and I was ready to do my s'more. But you guys know that I always have to try to take it one step further. I thought about that graham cracker look, and I thought, well, the size, the shape, the coloring, and everything is just right, but I really wanted it to have that design of the graham crackers. So here's what I came up with. So that's the other side of the one that I'm going to be putting on top. If you guys wanted to, you could do it for the bottom as well, but I didn't think that was going to be showing enough, so I didn't really bother. But I just really wanted that graham cracker look on there. And what I did for that was I took my wood burning tool. Okay, first I drew this out, one line straight down the center, and my dots on each side for the little holes that are in the cracker. And I drew that on with a pencil first to make sure that I had it the way I wanted it. And then I used this pointed tip here for the dots, and I used the chisel tip to do the line straight down the middle. And I went ahead and did that ahead of time. I didn't want to wait and do that on camera with you guys because I just made the one line with the chisel tip, and then I had to turn off my wood burning tool and let that cool down before I could change the tip, and then put the little pointed tip in there and let it reheat again to do the dots. So I didn't think you all would want to wait through all of that time and watch that in the video, but I really enjoyed doing this. My son got me that wood burning tool Christmas before last as a Christmas gift, and I hadn't really used it in a project yet. I've practiced some and just played around with that, learning how to use it a little bit, but I hadn't used it in a project, so I was really excited to do this. So that is wood burned in, and if you don't have a wood burner or you don't want to do that, you can just draw it on with a marker or maybe some paint with a tiny little dotting tool that you can draw that on with. Just whatever you've got that will help give that graham cracker look. Also, I like that line up the center really helps kind of hide the hole in there, and it just blends in so good. So I did one ahead, and there it is all put together, and I just think that's adorable. So we're going to put this one together today. So I've got my 2 tiles and my piece of fun foam for the chocolate. I've got my disc bead for the marshmallow, and I've got a number 6 seed bead to kind of put down inside of that because that hole is so large I don't want it to wobble around on my head pin. And then I've got a 2-inch head pin and a lobster clasp. You can go ahead and bring in a jump ring if you want to, but I'll be making mine with the excess from my head pin. So I'm just going to take that, and I'm going to put my bottom graham cracker on with the letter facing upward, so that'll be hidden inside. And if you want to, you can take that off. Just take a nail file or an emery board or something, even a little piece of sandpaper, and just sand that away until you get that thin layer of paint off. And then we're going to put our chocolate. Just kind of find the center the best you can and just poke that hole right through. And for this, I really like for it to be offset and not lined up perfectly. And then I'm going to put my marshmallow on and my seed bead to kind of nestle inside of there to snug that up. And then my top graham cracker. And there's your s'more. Just bend it over. I'm going to come in here a little bit inward so I can get down to about 1/4 of an inch for that. And then just take my round nose pliers and roll that into a loop. And then I'm going to roll that into a jump ring from the excess that I had left over from my head pin. Looks like I'm going to be able to get 2 out of that. So we'll use 1 today and put 1 back in our stash for another project. And then we just open that up, dangle on our s'more and our lobster clasp. And there's your s'more bead charm. I love this. So thank you so much, Ashley, for this suggestion. I just love it. You guys be sure to let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give me a like over on my Facebook page. Also be sure to join our Facebook group, Craftie Minds, where you can share your photos and ideas. Follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. Also be sure to visit my blog. And I will leave the links to all of those sites in the description below. So be sure and check those out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.